What is the significance of the July 22nd revolution?
This is a very vast question. I can assure you it's a big topic of research. You can write, a huge, body of knowledge or article on the question of the significance of the 1994 revolution. The 1994 revolution means a lot to Gambians. By the time they came in 1994, the government of the Fourth Republic became very old. Yes, they laid the foundation of the state and the foundation of governance and the foundation of statehood for the Gambia, but for the fact that the Fourth Republic succeeded colonial rule. But when the revolution came in 1994, the very moment that the revolution succeeded, the very moment that the military now effectively made it to power, and they became now the governors of the country in their red berets and dark green khakis, drastic changes started to happen. Like I explained earlier on, we have seen significant achievement in the area of health, education, telecommunication, the road and other the road industry, the infrastructure in general, sports. Interestingly, sports. Before 1994, we were notorious for losing any sporting event or competition that we participated in. Gambians were used to losing football matches. You understand? Like the Wolof would tell you, but look at what happened in 2005 and I think 2007, and from now from that time onward. Like human rights activism also, the governance and the state structure were drastically reorganized. And then also access to justice is another important area. In fact, this would have been part of the achievement of the second of the 1994 revolution. We are sitting now in the heart of the Faculty of Law. The Faculty of Law of the University of the Gambia is the only academic component of our university that is involved in legal education at the academic level. In fact, this is the only academic institution which is involved in legal education academically, not professionally only, but academically. And the fact that opportunity has been given to people to study law in their own country, you understand, this makes it possible for many people to join the Faculty of Law. We used to have a population of 50, 60, 70, up to 2010. But as I speak to you, we have a population up to 400 students. And we have seen that the first graduate, many of them, batch of graduate, were appointed magistrates by His Lordship the Chief Justice. Even some of the second batch who have just completed have been appointed too by His Lordship the Chief Justice. So this is very, very significant achievement for the Gambia because it will contribute to the final emancipation of our judicial and legal institutions, not only political institutions. And then, like education, apart from the law faculty, we have the law school in Banjul. We have other important institutions that facilitate access to justice: National Agency for Legal Aid, the Alternative Dispute Resolution, that's ADRS. You understand? You have the Office of the Ombudsman. The Office of the Ombudsman, like I mentioned before, is a fundamental institution of a democratic system, which did not exist, which was not part of our state and governance system throughout the First Republic. And then, and interestingly enough, when the military came, this important institution was one of the first to be written into our constitution. So therefore, it is a very significant, very, very significant achievement. And also, the political system was redefined because throughout the First Republic, Gambia was married to two different systems, the presidential and the parliamentary system, or the Westminster system and the presidential system. But the Second Republic has clearly departed from that confusion of two different systems and purely now marrying itself to the American style of presidential executive, where the principle of separation of power, between the executive, the judiciary, and legislature is very evident. So much, obviously, on the ground. So this achievement or this institution that I have made, you have the National Center for Civic Education, and you have also a number of, in addition to the two human rights institutions that existed during the First Republic, that's the African Commission for Human and People's Rights, which is an arm of the African Union, or the then OAU, and the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies, an NGO established by the Gambia government to work hand in hand with the African Commission. In addition to this, you have quite a number of human rights institutions that were developed later. And so much so that everywhere in this country, you will have a place where you can go and complain. And the complaint will be effective. You understand? And the court systems were reorganized, restructured. The way it is today is quite different from the way it used to be. Gambia didn't have a court of final authority. Although we did have a highest court of the land during the time of the First Republic with the Court of Appeal. But now we have we don't have not only the highest court in the country, but we have a court of final authority. In other words, appeals are no more taken out of our jurisdiction to the Privy Council in Britain. So you have the lower courts, the superior courts, and then you have the judges, the magistrates, and the practitioners freely practicing law the way that discipline or that profession dictates. So in other words, access to justice is a very, very important area and achievement of the Second Republic. And I think this makes the achievement of the 1994 revolution very, very significant, because justice is a fundamental human right. Man is by nature, inclined toward justice. And if justice is not provided, if justice is not available, problems will develop. In fact, absence of justice is one of the major sources of conflict. In those countries where people are always involved in conflict, if you look at the reasons, you'll find that absence of justice is one of them. So then, when access to justice becomes easy and easily available, that's a very important achievement. And there is another important area that that has been heavily influenced by the achievement of the 1994 revolution, and also, and this makes it very significant, that is in the area of religion. Gambia is a country which has a deeply religious community. All Gambians, or 99.9% of Gambians, are religious, either Muslims or Christians or any other religions. The 1994 revolution picked religion from the very beginning. You see, mosques being constructed in many public places, and even churches too. You see the author of the revolution, that's the President of the Republic himself, being a major supporter and promoter of religion, a leading practitioner in religion. And I remember in 2 or 3 years ago, I made a presentation in a conference in Nouakchott. One of the issues they were asking me to address was the achievement of the Jamia administration in the area of promotion of Islam. I wrote a substantive academic paper on this issue, on this area, where I highlighted the constructions of mosque establishment and support of the Islamic Council, and making it like an arm of government. Although the Islamic Council has not been established by an act of parliament, but the way it is supported and the way the government listens to it and the way it is promoted and the cause of that is promoted through the council makes it an effective part of the governance structure of this country. Informally though, you understand, education, Islamic education. Today, as I speak to you, the madrasa system, and thanks to the hard work of the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, the madrasa system has been upgraded to the level of other schools in this country. We do have students in the university who are coming from the madrasa system, and they are qualified to getting the same support and assistance that other conventional schools get from the government of the day. The Quranic competition, which the President of the Republic started just last year, is another significant and a landmark achievement for his revolution. So in other words, the 1994 revolution has touched on every aspect of socio-economic and cultural life of Gambians. Of course, although at varying levels, there are areas where it has achieved more success, like those that I have mentioned: education, health, infrastructure, and so on and so forth.
to many people